context, what is context, and how can we manage or optimize tokens and context. Both things align themselves pretty neat. So, what is tokens? What are tokens? Token is the base of an AI model. It's the coin, the currency you pay when you use AI. So if you spend like $20, you spend like 100,000, a million, 20 million tokens, which then gets converted to to money. For reference, one token is about a third of an English word. Another reference, 128,000 tokens. It's around 96 words, which is mostly 300 pages book. So you think, how am I getting so many tokens? I'm not getting 96,000 words of my AI or my prompts or anything. So an example of that, of using AI with tokens, inside the documentation of Cursor, we have a little chat that we can ask Cursor, what is something? Or how do I manage? How does context work? And it does have a little tokenizer there. So each of these colors right there is a token. As you can see, the word funciona is one token. The word componentes is two tokens. There's a lot of words or characters there that are one, two, even three or four tokens. So you can spend like 1,000 tokens on 500 words. How does Cursor get your money? We have four different types of tokens. We have input, output, cache write, and cache read. Input is what you send to the AI. Everything you send to the AI. So your prompt, the prompt that Cursor has, and the context overall, like image or a file or index or anything that you send to the AI. Output is every single thing that AI sends to you. So if it writes codes, if it writes you a text, if it managed to call an MCP, it also costs us output. And we have our beloved cache write and cache read. Both are really cheaper than inputs and even outputs. Cache write can be more expensive than inputs, but it usually comes like in a 1 million token spend, 1,000 or 2,000 is cache write. So, and cache write, it only goes in the really start of the conversation. Cache read is 10 times cheaper than anything else. Then cache writing so in each turn, it reads the cache. But the really fun thing that I don't remember who asked, does Cursor think about your usage? How do you spend less? It does. It really does. Because 90% of the tokens you spend are cache read, and cache read is you can as you can see, leitura no cache read is like cents usually. I've never seen a model cost even $1. So input is it's cheap. Cache write and output is the enemy. of the cost. So an example, this is a real price from my dashboard. Um, we have 150,000 in inputs, which costs 76 cents. So as you can see, cash rate is 97 million tokens. You can in a total of 106 million tokens. 97 million tokens is more than 90%. So Cursor, it really likes to cache your stuff. It's really great. And it's something that I've seen only Cursor do that. I've seen users from Codex, from Cloud Code, from Windsurf, and even other that spend like 1 week and they're gone with their usage limits because they don't have like that level of cache. So um, each time you send a request to the AI, it builds up a context. But what is the context? I've seen context engineering. How many of you have heard of context engineering here? And do you think you're practicing it? No. I think you are. Our cursor is for you in some way. What context is not? It is not the whole memory, the model weight of the AI. It doesn't have like that billions or trillions of parameters. It's really niche to that specific chat. But we can say that context is like a RAM memory. It has a short space, space. So in a context window of 128,000 tokens, we have the system prompt, the chat itself, any file that you send, image, or anything at all, and you have space for a response from the AI. If the AI builds up to that token limit, you cannot add more. But Cursor summarize for you. But okay, what goes into the context? You can speak. Hey. The system prompt, the prompt from the user, the response from the agent, the tool call, the list of tools, rules, skills, MCPs, files, index, images, linter errors, pretty much anything. That's everything that you do goes into context. So that 128,000 tokens can be spent really, really quick, really quick. Also, each time you send a new message, all that context goes again. So you have your first interaction with AI in a short context. The next time you send another response, another interaction, that same context gets like duped. It duplicates that context and sends it over again to the AI. And it goes on and on and on and on. So a really good tip is to manage the context in separate chats or separate agents. Just like Ben said, or Daniel, I think, said to use subagents, because each subagent has its own context window. So if you use 10 subagents, you have a million context window, which is the sum of the overall thing. So how can we spend less and keep our performance the same? A really good thing to do is to save things in files, because it helps Cursor to index that file, those files or folders or anything that you save. So It's called static context. So you have like uh, five files, five Markdown files or YAM files. I think that's how you say it, YAM. I don't know. So yeah, um, there's a lot of like patterns like architecture.md, design.md, we have agents.md, cloud.md, and so on, so on, so on. So saving those things in files, it helps Cursor help you. And it doesn't really um, save you that much only saving the files. You can reference them. Never copy paste something in the chat. If you have that code in your code base, you can send it over as a reference to the AI. So if you have, oh, this button right here, it does this thing, and you copy paste that function. No, you can send it over to the AI. Or like, how does the login, how does the out function? Yeah, and you can send that architecture or design to the AI. It will be cached. It will be you spend a lot and there's less. So here's how you do it. You can reference files, folders, docs, terminals, chats. You talked with the AI before, with Cursor before. You can reference GitHub using add branch. And there's a lot more like docs. I don't really see people using it, but it's really helpful. Docs, it's great, and you can have your own browser window shown up, and you can take a screenshot or reference that element, and it goes on and on and on. So another quick tip is to get rules to be short and focused. You don't you place on Git ignore. So you can still reference them, but they don't get cached or indexed. So a nice thing to do is to put node modules, logs, dist, builds, anything that's temporary or anything that you don't want to cache or you won't need in any time. We also have cursor ignore. It completely blocks the AI access to that folder or that AI. You can the cursor ignore the .env or anything like secrets.json or secrets.nt there. So it also really helps on context save and token save. And two is place because it also is it's the same thing as package.json. So AI doesn't need that. I could put there in the git ignore, but I place in the cursor ignore. That's pretty much it. That's really short. I made a presentation in Portuguese. I made a mind script in Portuguese, but it's really fun to say in English and to practice something that I don't do. And I think that's it in general. Okay. Obrigado. Any questions? Portuguese or not? Pode ser português here. So, no questions for Marcelo for now? Go ahead. I think that we have some more things to show you. Then I want to deliver some gifts for everyone that are showing here. So, as a way to be great. And that's it. So thank you so much, man.
Well, before, I want to just say thank you for Ali and for Christian. I think Floripa is gaining so much from this. So, round of applause for the ambassadors that are organized and make sure this happens. I think this is the coolest meetup we've done so far. Like, we kind of overdid it in accepting everybody, but thank you for your patience. So when we were talking with the team in Ali, we were like, we have to do something to give back to the Cursor community. So George, can you please come and tell us what we built?
Oh, okay. Hello, good night, everyone. My name is George, kind of the resident hacker from the house. So the last month we received this notice that we have to use the cursor. We had a meetup of cursor here. So the first idea was to be a cafe cursor, right? So we thought, why not speed up some of our projects and build a coffee machine, automated coffee machine with payments in Lightning, Bitcoin, and Pix using. And for that challenge, it was a challenge for me because LLMs and embedded systems, till some recently updates, they are not so friendly. So, but now using Cursor, that's what I'm need to say is that we had some extensions to facilitate the workflow. So we have built this coffee machine. Actually, the software part is fully functional, but the coffee machine blew up yesterday. So if you want to talk with me about the projects we have using in Founders House, the hardware and software and infrastructure we have been building here in Founders House, we intend to make this house a real robot with intelligence, using LLM agents to better receive our meetups and our members of the Founders House. So if you want to talk, this is not the color. No. This is the glowing color. Okay. So that's it. That's it, people. If you want to talk to me with embedded system using Cursor, I'm available if you want to chat. That's it.
So everything's that's still